So I think Castroneves will be right there.
Oh, look at how it backed it all the way up there with KV cars. Whoa!
Apex Brazil.
In the mail.
Apex Brazil green flag comes out. Back to competition. And they squeeze down into turn 1. Viso with a drive-through penalty. Ooh, we saw some tire
big time smoke.
Oh, we got a
yellow,
car
green,
crash.
yellow again.
Tagliani,
Romancini, and Tagliani.
And so that was Viso that bailed off at the start and went down to serve his penalty.
Right.
That was smart, because you can only do a drive-through under green, so he waited for him to say green, 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 then ducked off into the pits, so that would have counted. Now you have a yellow and you pick up the space.
Very
good. That's pretty nice.
Yep.
There was definitely some chaos back in the field there on that
when
restart.
he peeled off to the pits. I was like, what's going on here? Danica Patrick gets up the inside of Baguette, and then there was contact. And that looked like Kanaan. Kanaan touched Tagliani, and Tagliani just speared poor Romancini, who was just trying to get out of the way.
Here's Tony's on board.
Riding on board with TK. Now look off to the left. Right there is Tags. Where's the contact? There it is. Tags stays on the gas there, just laying down the tire smoke. Okay, from Tags' view, look at this, Jan.
Okay, I'm giving Kanaan room. Everything's good. Oh, it's not good.
Yeah. And that didn't take much. That was just the left front.
Wow.
Romancini just nowhere to go on that. But it was just a little contact from the left front of Kanaan to the right rear of Tags. It doesn't take that much. And look at the nice rubber pavement.
He tried to do a donut. He tried to do a 100-mile-an-hour donut and keep the thing going, but unfortunately, it drove him right into Romancini.
Yeah, he was watching the drifters out on the track earlier in the day.
So the question is there damage on Kanaan's car?
I doubt it. It was pretty light.
Yeah.
There certainly is on Romancini and Tagliani.
So Viso is a big benefactor in that whole deal of serving his penalty.
It has done a little bit of grinding on that left front wheel. And you can certainly see the reciprocating wheel mark on the side of Mr. Tagliani's machine there.
Right on the B of the Bowers and Wilkins, the smaller one.
At least he didn't rub off the sponsorship.
So one of the Canadian drivers is out of competition, but the other one, Paul Tracy, is running 7th. There are 10 cars on the lead lap. On lap number 54 at Edmonton, Alberta. Welcome back to the Honda Edmonton Indy at City Centre Airport, Edmonton, Alberta. Under another full course caution, Will Power with the lead over Elio Castroneves, Ryan Briscoe, Scott Dixon, and Dario Franchitti. Jack?
You're down here in the IZOD Performance Pit Center. I want to show you the track is so rough. I tried to come up with a way to help you understand it. Let's go back to the old washboard, right? Let's take my little toy car here of Dario Franchitti. Basically, Robbie Buell and Jan Bekish, you can identify with this. It'd be like trying to roll right across this washboard. Dario Franchitti told me, not only is it that rough, he said, Jack, take your little toy car and take it all the way up to this big lip right here. He said, when you get the curves, it'll launch the car right off the racetrack. We've already seen that with Paul Tracy, haven't we, boys?
What I want to know is, Jack, where in the world did you get that washboard? I didn't even know they made those things. Or is that the way you do your laundry?
Same place I got the kazoo. No, that's the same place where I got my toy kazoo. We'll have that next week, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
And Jan's asking me if he can have that toy model of Franchitti's if you get to keep it.
Danica Patrick getting another nose and wing.
Yep. Now, watch EJ Viso just as the green comes out. Remember, he needs to serve a drive-through penalty.
So he's trying to make sure he hears on his radio, green, 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 and just shoots off for the pit road. In a way, he was holding back because he can't serve a penalty unless it's under green. That was very clever.
Yep.
And that's what created that big flare out of all those guys back on that restart. All of a sudden, they were, almost 3-4 wide there, and that, like I say, is he was just kind of slowed up waiting for the green.
Now, Robbie, we are to the point to where you would start considering pitting.
Well,
because
the first to make the last stop motto, right?
There's 50, we're on lap 56. You normally would have to wait until lap 60 to make your final stop. However, if you think this caution is going to go on for a while, you might take a gamble.
EJ Viso
I think if I was Ryan Hunter-Reay, that's exactly what I would do, boys.
Edmonton in a moment. Cars moving off of turn number 12, getting set to restart this race. Power leads Elio down through turns 13 and 14, and away we go once again.
And Power with just slowing everybody down before they get into 13 and 14, just from when the officials came and said, hey, that was too fast. We saw guys further back in the queue just kind of popping out, saying, come on.
On board with Paul Tracy running 7th.
Got by Hunter Ray, though.
Make
Got
it
to the
6th.
inside of turn 1 and took Hunter Ray. Now he's past Kanaan, but that's not for position.
But he's giving himself a good cushion to this guy right here who are on board with Hunter Ray of coming right back at him.
Now remember, Paul Tracy had front wing damage, but he's since made a pit stop. If you have a broken front wing, you can add front wing into it and get it rebalanced. Moves ahead of him.
Now just ahead of him is Franchitti
And that was
Briscoe and
he
Dixon.
got by him.
And Franchitti's all over. Oh, Franchitti had to check up a little bit on Briscoe there.
Briscoe has lost a spot. As we were on board with Tracy, you could see a move up front.
Look at that. Tracy wanted to make the move. He was trying to get everything he could.
There's another move on Briscoe. Briscoe's lost another spot.
So that is Briscoe right in front of Tracy, and that is for the 4th spot. Briscoe running P4 right now.
So both Dixon and Franchitti have now got by Briscoe. Here comes Paul Tracy. He knows if those 2 cars have got by him, that maybe I've got a shot.
Yeah, and that is for the 5th spot. 4th spot is with Franchitti already going by.
Oh, he closes in.
Now you got to get the power down. Get the power down so it sets you up as you go into turn 11. Not going to happen here. His next place to make this is you come through the fast chicane onto the front straightaway and then going into turn 1. So he's got to set it up. Right here's the key. Right through this transition right there. Big bump. Be on the gas.
Well, Paul Tracy's been struggling through that chicane all weekend. He's faster in some of the other areas. He said he really likes this 1, 2, 3 all the way up to turn number 5, but had trouble through that fast chicane. Oh, he's over the curb.
You act like that's... He's been doing that all day.
That's supposed to be for qualifying.
Let's go down to Robbie Floyd with a report on Alex Tagliani.
Tags worked his way almost up into the top 10, and what happened from the driver's perspective?
Just an unfortunate incident for the Bowers and Wilkins alt-wheels car. I think our first stint was a good stint. We went long as saving fuel, and we're doing the best thing with what we had, and I think we could have finished in the top 10 today. Just unfortunate incident in turn 1.
Car was a lot better. You'd already made up 6th position.
Yeah, it was a lot better. The guys did a good job, and from where we started, finishing in the top 10 was going to be a good thing.
Proof pot that Paul Tracy's moved up into 6th spot, and guys, he came in, and took up new black earlier. It actually helped some of his understeer problem. He likes these tires, but they're talking about changing to a new set of reds when he comes in the next time. Remember, he had 2 sets of reds to start today, and although he has a little more understeer with the reds, they're saying he's going faster with those.
That is Tagliani's 3rd DNF this year.
They might want to rethink that because Paul Tracy is on a charge on the blacks, and yes, he might go a little bit faster, but if this helps the balance of his race car, man, put on there what's giving you the payday at the time. He's moving through on those at the moment.
But the red should be a faster. I mean, the balance may not be there, but it's faster.
But
more
he's
grip.
had problems with his balance on the reds and got all over the place. So again, that'll be a decision that they're going to have to weigh. He says it makes it go loose.
Track's changing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a
that is true
risk.
though. As the track rubbers in, the reds are more effective. So yes, that's a good point.
Now Tracy has to worry about the guy in his rearview mirror, namely Ryan Hunter-Ray.
We passed right off that restart. Then he had a car in between him that gave a little cushion. Now Ryan Hunter-Reay's got him in his sights.
And Takuma Sato, running 10th, is in for a pit stop.
Now the reason you make